Channel Y. Channel Y. A South Asian Canadian channel.
And you're watching Channel Y.
The biggest South Asian media group, Y Media. Y Media. Y Media has newspaper, midweek, radio, South Asian Pulse.
Hi, I'm Amitabh Bachchan and you're listening to South Asian Pulse.
Hi, this is Amir Khan and you're listening to South Asian Pulse.
अब हर दिन सुने GTA का नंबर 1 रेडियो स्टेशन FM 91.9
Television. You are watching Channel Y. Channel Y.
Prime Minister, welcome.
It's a pleasure to be back.
Online, SouthAsianDaily.com. The biggest South Asian media group, Y Media.
This part of the program is brought to you by Midweek Newspaper, published every Tuesday.
Hello and welcome to the Editor's Take. I am Ramona Singh, and the 5-state India election just wrapped up, and Y Media did an exclusive coverage for months leading up to the election. And today joining me is the group editor of Y Media, who's going to give us his editor take on the India election. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great, Ramona ji, and as you just mentioned, yes, of course, we did a massive coverage on the 5-state India elections, and I'd like to thank all our viewers, all our sponsors for supporting us. Thank you.
Yeah, so give us the major takeaways from the 5-state election.
I think, Ramona ji, the major takeaway, if I look at, would be this is vote for change. This is the new India. You know, even when we were in the 90s in our college times, did I want to play second fiddle to anybody? The answer was no. This is the new India which wants to be number one at every stage. Look where we are in states today. Almost every major company, the CEO is Google, Microsoft, is an Indian. They want to be number one. They don't want to be any deputies to anybody. India has won 2 World Cups in the last 20 years. We won just one in the 50 years, and that was in 1983. Now in 2007, 2011, we won 2 World Cups. Now the Indian cricket team is ranked number 1. We're no more seen as the minnows in the cricket world, whether it's Australia, West Indies, South Africa. Here we have arrived. So this new India wants to be number 1. In 19s, was I looking for a job? No. I was looking for a great career in 90s, and today the aspirational curve has even risen far more. So the change that you're seeing in the political landscape, the oldest party of India, Congress, they've been decimated in Punjab. They were the ruling party in Punjab, but they've been decimated. Here they are in Uttar Pradesh, where I would say after 1947, when India got independence, for the first approximately 25, 30 or maybe even 35 years, Congress was winning elections after elections. Now, that time it was Jan Sangh or any other political parties, Janata Party, they weren't able to challenge. Despite putting emergency in 70s, Indira Gandhi still came back to power in 1980, and then, of course, after her death in 84, 85, Congress won a resounding majority. But here we are now, BJP is winning state after state. And the new emerging parties, whether they're regional parties in Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka or anywhere else, and I mean look at the numbers that we're witnessing here. Aam Aadmi Party, they have, after Congress and BJP, this is the third party now. There's no other party in India right now which has government in 2 different states. Aam Aadmi Party has government in Delhi now, and it has government in Punjab. So this is the new India. This is vote for change. I think the people of Punjab were sick and tired. They were sick and tired, they were frustrated, they wanted this change. And I think since Punjab was formed, we only had either the Congress ruling Punjab or you had Akalis. Of course, at a later stage, Akalis did have a tie-up with the BJP, but these were the only 2 parties, either Akali or BJP alliance, or you had the Congress. There was not much of a choice. Yes, there was a choice in 2017, but AAP maybe at that time was a new entrant.
Yeah, were there other major factors why AAP did so well in the state of Punjab?
Yeah, you're right. There are quite a few factors, but I think vote for change was the number 1 factor. The second factor was AAP, and especially Kejriwal. He has positioned himself as the honest brand. You know, this is the fastest growing party in India now. In just a span of 10 years, they have positioned themselves as the alternate, because corruption has been a major issue. Here comes AAP, here comes the leader Arvind Kejriwal. The leader, the brand. They've stopped, earlier they were calling themselves as the Delhi model or the AAP model. Right after this victory, it's all about Kejriwal, because he's been around for almost good 10 years now. They're saying Kejriwal is the new model. So Arvind Kejriwal, the leader, he's branded himself as, yes, I am the honest leader. And I have the entire party which is honest now. So they're capturing the imagination of the new India, because nobody could have imagined, yes, it was an ideal situation. The leader is very much honest. Yes, there were allegations against Arvind Kejriwal, but none of them have been proven. And people have started trusting them. They've delivered they've been elected 3 times in Delhi. They have delivered till a certain extent in Delhi. Yes, they have challenges there in Delhi. And Delhi, for that matter, it has a small budget. Of course, you'll have a much larger budget here in Punjab because almost 400,000 crore, that's the sort of debt you're looking at. Delhi was almost always a surplus state, and then, when it became deficit in the budget, it was easy to turn around things because, again, it has a small budget. And their budget revenues have been increasing almost 1.5 times in recent years. So people have seen their Delhi model, which now the party calls as the Kejriwal model, because they think brand Arvind Kejriwal, the leader, he's much bigger than the party or anything else. So now they're calling it the Arvind Kejriwal model. We're going to take it to Delhi. We're going to challenge Narendra Modi. So I think there are other factors as well, because both these parties were in power for the last so many years. But even if you look at the last 20 years, 10 years it was the Congress rule, and 10 years the Akalis and BJP. Collectively, I'm saying, Akalis ruled it conservatively. They had 2 terms. But from 2002 till 2007, you had the Congress rule. Then again, from 2017 to 2022. So in approximately 20 years, you had Akalis 10 years and then Congress for 10 years. But they didn't deliver. So here we are, that yes, people wanted to, try something new, and AAP was right there at the right time.
How important do you think it is for a leader's brand on a political party, or is that necessary for newer parties like AAP, where the leader's brand is the entire party?
Oh, I think it's all about the leader.
Yeah.
Look what's happening. India is now having a presidential form of election, and when it is almost a presidential form of election, it has almost become a referendum. Like, just you have, okay, is it Trump or Hillary Clinton? Is it Trump or Joe Biden? That is what became in Punjab as well, because leaders do matter, faces do matter. Because everybody was asking this time, like Aam Aadmi Party, very interesting point that you just made, how much the leader matters. Aam Aadmi Party didn't declare the CM face in 2017. This time everybody was asking, why won't you declare the CM face? And the Congress was also pressurized. So the Akalis had their CM face almost declared, Sukhbir Singh Badal. So the leader was very much defined. You're asking about the leader. Same with the Congress. Congress announced Charanjit Singh Channi would be the CM face. Of course, Navjot Singh Sidhu wanted to be the CM face. And here, Bhagwant Mann was announced as the CM face. Leaders do matter, because people want to know, if we are vote for who will be the leader, who will lead us, what sort of character do they have, what sort of vision do they have, what is their track record. So I think that was a miss as far as Congress is concerned.
Yeah. So how did BJP make a comeback in UP?
Yeah, you see, that's another history that was scripted, because in today's news, we're writing down the history. In Uttar Pradesh, it rarely happens that you have any party is given a second chance. So, and if you're talking about a repeat of a chief minister, I think that happened way back in 1950. So approximately 30 to 40 years after you having this change. So why it happened? First things first. I think Congress was almost a natural choice for quite a few years in Uttar Pradesh, but now Congress has been decimated to 2nd, 3rd, or probably this time even to the 4th position, single digits. This is the largest assembly that we're talking, 403 seats in Uttar Pradesh. This is the largest state in terms of population, in terms of assembly seats, in terms of Lok Sabha seats. And here we are, Congress was not performing at all, no new ideas. So Congress out of the equation. Then let's talk about BSP. BSP came into power in 2007, and in 2012 elections they were still in opposition. But now BSP again reduced to single digit, less than 5 seats. So BSP was also out of the equation. So at the end, it became a toss between SP, Samajwadi Party, and BJP. Here is BJP, they had the Sangathan in place, they had the Karyakartas in place, they had the ground workers in place. And of course, during the COVID times, the challenges still remain. Is unemployment solved? No. Is the corruption solved? No. But they did deliver few things. So precisely that was the reason that, yes, whether the welfare schemes were working, the direct cash deposit was working, the healthcare or the other few direct welfare schemes, they worked in BJP's favor. We give too much weightage to the religious polarization. Does that work? Yes, till a certain extent. You cannot take the caste equation out also. Does that work? Yes, that also worked. But I think a collective, all these things worked in BJP's favor, and on the ground, whether it was, Awadh area, whether it was the Doab area, the bridge area, you go to Purvanchal, and we did think that yes, maybe, the farmer protest would affect this. But it didn't affect that much. As a matter of fact, Jat belt, it was almost an equal thing. Rohilkhand was the one area where SPs dominated. Then Yadav area, yes, Samajwadi Party did dominate. But other than that, I think BJP was all the way.
Yeah, and so given the results, what are some of the lessons for Congress?
I think one of the first lessons for Congress is that yes, they need to change their leadership. I think 100 plus rallies by the Congress leaders, especially if I want to talk about Priyanka Gandhi, she did so many rallies. Sonia Gandhi, she's still at the helm of affairs. Rahul Gandhi still, making so many decisions. Who made this decision to remove Captain Amarinder Singh after 4.5 years, so much close to the elections? This was made by the Gandhi family. Who made the decision to bring in Navjot Singh Sidhu as the president of the Congress party, but not as the CM face? So he was almost all the time speaking against the Congress himself. So now here we are, removing Captain Amarinder Singh was a wrong idea. Then either you should have removed Navjot Singh Sidhu altogether, because after CM face was announced as CM Chennai, from that point onwards, Navjot Singh Sidhu, the party president, he stopped campaigning for Congress. He didn't campaign. He was just seen in 2 ridings. One in his own riding, Amritsar East, and one Smith Singh, maybe his relative. But there are 117 ridings. The president of the party, he's not campaigning. So I think the buck stops at the Gandhi family's desk. Priyanka Gandhi leading from the front in Uttarakhand and especially in Uttar Pradesh. She couldn't deliver there as well. Goa, Manipur. In Uttarakhand, I think BJP had all the things going wrong for them. It was the wrong decisions made by the leadership, which of course made things worse for them. There were other reasons as well, whether it was Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, and especially in Punjab, the infighting between the Congress leaders, in Goa as well, that makes the matters worse for Congress.
Yeah, and so the India election is just around the corner in 2024. Yeah. How will this impact that election?
I think BJP is claiming, Narendra Modi is claiming this is a done deal, but I think UP, especially UP, because it has 80 seats. So I think this was a testing ground, that at the ground BJP would have said, okay, we are fine, we're doing well at the ground. And even otherwise as well, I think for Congress, who is still after BJP the single largest party, but if Congress has been shut out of all the 5 states, this does impact Congress. The momentum is not with them. So moving into the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, I think BJP holds the momentum.
Yes, okay, because they're saying that it might be, their win, right, based on the results.
You see, 2 years is a big time. You know politics so well. I think in any, there's always could be a slip between the cup and the lip, and 2 years is a long time. Even 2 days is a long time. So I don't think that we can call it a done deal. Of course, as I was mentioning earlier, BJP has that momentum, BJP has that advantage. But you never know, there could be a Mahagathbandhan or a sort of a major alliance that we are yet to business. They may or may not sustain the government, but they might try their best to bring the government down. The likes of Mamata Banerjee, Prashant Kishore is building some sort of strategy. Then you have people from the south. And of course, Arvind Kejriwal, he's taking claim as well.
Yeah, so is it fair to assume that the India election in 2024 is going to be between Modi and Kejriwal?
I think that's a good question, and I think the idea is being floated by the Aam Aadmi Party and their leaders, but I doubt. Yes, they are saying it's going to be Kejriwal versus Modi in 2024. They're saying Aam Aadmi Party is the natural replacement for Congress, but I doubt. I think it's too early, as much as I would want to see them growing. And I think they could grow in 10, 15, 20, 30 years, because from my perspective, any good democracy needs at least 2 or 3 major parties. And I say this too often on my radio shows, on my TV show as well. If you take the Indian democracy out of this planet, there's not much democracy. Look what's happening in Russia. Look what's happening in China. You don't have any democracy there. Most of the countries in the Middle East and some countries in South Africa or even South America as well, there's not much democracy there. So I think if you take India out of the equation, there's not much democracy left. So here we are. I think in 2024, we definitely need, or maybe 29 or further, we need at least 2 or 3 strong parties. But I doubt right now Kejriwal or the Aam Aadmi Party would be a very formidable force in 2024, because even if they clean sweep Delhi, which I doubt they will, because they have been there in the power for the last 10 years, they won 3 elections. But whenever there are assembly elections, last 3 times, the Delhiites voted for Aam Aadmi Party. But it was a clean sweep for the BJP at the central elections. 2014, all 7 seats were won by BJP. 2019, all 7 seats were won by BJP. And here we are. I don't think so 2024 is going to be any different. But just imagine if BJP, if Aam Aadmi Party would sweep Delhi and Punjab. So Delhi and Punjab, 7 seats for Delhi, 13 seats for Punjab, it still makes 20 seats. So with 20 seats, or maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 here and there, are they going to stake claim forming the government? You need 272 to form a majority. So I doubt AAP will be a very formidable force in 2024. So AAP is giving this slogan maybe, to uplift the profile of Arvind Kejriwal, because now they have stopped saying Delhi model, they've stopped saying AAP model, they started saying Kejriwal model.
So they went through a rebranding, and you compared the India elections to the US type of election, which is, Donald Trump brand or Biden or Hillary Clinton. How different is it from Canadian politics, given that both countries have prime ministers?
I think it's very different from Canadian politics, because in Canada, at least we have 2 very strong parties right now. As much as, yes, the Conservatives ruled for good 10 years. And I know there were minority governments, so whether it was in 2004, 2006, and again 2008 was a minority government. Finally they got a majority in 2011, but still Harper managed to rule for good 10 years. But on all those times, yes, Stéphane Dion or Michael Ignatieff, we thought maybe the Liberals could come to power. They didn't. That's a different thing. Very similarly, Justin Trudeau has been in power, but Conservatives are still a very formidable force. Last time the elections, I think the popular vote was more with the Conservatives and less with the Liberals. Yes, of course, the seat distribution is like that the Liberals were able to form the government, but it's very different in India. I think 2014, it was a clean sweep, it was a rout, and BJP heavily dominated there. Again in 2019, it's the same thing. BJP's heavily dominated the elections. There was no competition whatsoever. And 2024, I doubt right now they're around the corner. I don't think so there is any competition for them. That's why the Prime Minister Modi is saying 2024 is a done deal. Is it? I don't know, but yes, the momentum is with them. They're very strong.
And so do you think that 2024 is still a whiles away, but time goes by really fast? Would you think BJP would change their policies, maybe domestic, international, to make sure that they do sweep like they expect to?
I doubt so they're going to change anything from now on, because I think BJP, if there is a mantra which is working, why change it? I think that's what the Liberals are doing over here as well, precisely. They're not changing anything, no major changes in the Liberal Party's policies. Yes, maybe once in a while they do something here and there, but they're not changing anything radically. So I think precisely that will be the BJP's mantra. And India is a very diverse country. As much as Canada is also a very diverse and a multicultural country, but India is far more diverse, far more multicultural. I still remember John Baird when he went to India. He was the foreign affairs minister at that time. He said, "Oh wow, we talk about multiculturalism in Canada. This is what multiculturalism is all about." So I think BJP, they've understood the game. They won't be creating much inroads in the southern parts of India, whether it's the Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Telangana, and they have created inroads in the east. Or maybe there's some strategies would change for the eastern India, or maybe for UP, but I don't think so. They need to work too much on the drawing board. But yes, at the grassroots levels, keep working hard. That should be the strategy. Momentum is with BJP.
Yeah, so in Canada, the Liberal Party that you brought up is in Ontario, and federally, we've seen that they've gone very left, more than the center where you'd expect the Liberal Party to be, more on the NDP territory with very similar policies. Do we see that in India as well, where the political parties are going left or right from where the people would expect them to be? And is that why voting for the leader, and the leader's brand is so important because the party, it's changing the shape of the party.
Yeah, great question, by the way. I think what we are witnessing is populism is on the rise across the globe. We're seeing populist governments or populist leaders, if they're not even democratically elected, whether it's Russia, China, Pakistan for that matter, whether the change was brought or not, but the mantra in Pakistan was Pakistan against corruption, and they coined the term saying Naya Pakistan. Has the Naya Pakistan happened? I doubt so. Populism, again, in states as well. Populism has been growing in Europe as well. So that has been the case in India as well. But now you're right, they're realigning, they're shifting till a certain extent, because earlier BJP did brand itself. Yes, we are going to build a Ram Mandir. Maybe they positioned themselves as, yes, majority, the majority Hindu voter, they were positioning themselves. But in these UP elections, I didn't hear a word about Ram Mandir. Yes, there were certain terms which did directly or indirectly talk about the caste thing or a little bit of a religious polarization as well for BJP, but not as much as they did earlier, because now they're talking about Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, the development, the foreign policy, and they're positioning themselves very well for the nationalism. This is what BJP is claiming. That's why they're winning at the national levels. They have been losing state assembly elections. Right before the 2019 Lok Sabha elections, they lost badly in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. And everybody said, oh, this is a semi-final. Few months for the Lok Sabha elections, BJP is going to lose. But why they came back strongly once again, I think nationalism is another one of their strong points.
Well, thank you so much for your Editor's Take. That's all the time we have today. Join us every week for the Editor's Take with Group Editor Yudhvir Jaswal. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You are watching Channel Y. Channel Y, a South Asian Canadian